Hello, welcome to my second vlog. This is Hippobikeamus, and as you can see I'm in a glorious location. It's actually Bradgate Park, which is just outside Leicester. Now, I've been to Bradgate Park lots in my life, but I'm going somewhere today where I've never been before. I am literally, oh there's me, I'm literally just going to go on a magical mystery tour, and I've no idea where I'm going to end up. Okay, no, I don't want to go over those. Oh, do I? Oh, I'm lost already. Okay, so I am going out the wrong way. Never mind. So what can you expect from today's vlog? Well, I've been thinking about the kind of things I can talk about, and one of the things that really does spring to mind for me is a subject which a lot of people don't find easy to talk about, and that is mental health. Okay, so before I get into all of that, as you can see, it's a beautiful sunny day. It's a Saturday, so a little bit more traffic than on a Sunday, but I mean, as you can see, when you get outside Leicester, it's actually pretty amazing. Really pretty. So normally when I come along this road, this is about as far as I ever get, because I usually turn round and go back home. So I'm going to try to do a vlog today where I don't know where I'm going, so my concentration might be slightly slightly lessened by the fact that I'll kind of be looking out for road signs and things like that, which of course I do always anyway. The other thing today actually is, even though it's October, it's actually really hot. I've kind of got my all-purpose kind of jacket on, which is like you know, a textile jacket. I've got a leather jacket which I quite often wear in the summer, which is a bit cooler, both temperature wise and aesthetically. But yeah, so I've got this quite heavy jacket on, and I'm quite hot, I have to say. Now the other thing I've also got on today, oh this is nice, this is pretty. I don't have my usual helmet, because for this kind of vlogging stuff I found that my normal showy helmet doesn't really kind of fit the GoPro on the front, and it's also got a matte finish. I've got a showy NXR, so it's an amazing helmet actually, one of the most comfortable helmets I've ever put on my head. So today I'm using my Icon Airframe Pro, which looks very fast, even on a fat bloke like me, and I've just ran over a dead seagull, so oh dear, at least it was dead first. As you can see, the scenery is pretty nice, But what I was saying about the helmet is that it's actually one of the best ventilated helmets that money can buy, so it's also one of the noisy bloodiest helmets. So there was always a lot of wind coming in. So one thing I have noticed before when I was editing my last vlog is actually the sound quality, considering the amount of wind, isn't too bad at all. But also I'm using it's a legal visor, but it's tinted, and it's got like a kind of a chameleon effect on the outside. It looks very, very cool. I'm just not used to wearing a tinted visor. Okay, where am I going to go? Let's go to Shepshed. Literally I've just I've decided that I've never been to Shepshed in my life, but I fancy it. So let's talk about the elephant in the room then, mental health. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because biking is one of those things which is really kind of beneficial, and I kind of alluded to it in my last vlog, because it kind of encapsulates 2 or 3 of the main kind of criteria which we kind of need every day to have positive mental health. One of those is being in the great outdoors, really. You know, it's nature, it's taking notice of our surroundings, and when you're on a motorbike you can't help but do that, you know. As I said before, you know, you got the wind rushing through your hair, you kind of feel alive, you know, and I think this is the difference with going for a drive in a car, where you're still kind of really encapsulated, but on a bike you feel, you know, like you're out there. Another thing, actually, although this might be quite tenuous, but there is some kind of exercise element involved in this. It's good for your core muscles, you know. You've kind of, you know, going around corners and all that kind of stuff, you've got to have fairly decent posture. You use your hips a lot, you know, to kind of balance, to kind of, you know, you don't steer a bike with the handlebars, even though you've got them, which is kind of bizarre, I know. So yeah, so you've got a bit of physical activity there as well. Something else you're also doing, you're kind of learning. It's kind of ongoing learning. You know, you're becoming more skilled at what you do. You're learning, you know, the geography, like I am today. God knows what I'm going to do when I get to Shep Shed. I haven't got a bloody clue. I'm just being what they call grounded or present, and health and well-being have got a lot of fluffy words like that which put people off, I think. You know, mindfulness, being grounded, don't really like those words myself, but well, this is a lovely straight road, isn't it? So why am I so passionate about mental health then? Well, I suppose because it's what I do for a living. It wasn't really by choice, I kind of fell into it, but what do I do for a day job? I advise people on mental health, and I run little workshops. Now, where are we going to have to go up here? Woo! Oh, that junction caught me by surprise. Well, I'll head Loughborough way, because I've heard of Loughborough. Okay, concentrate, John, concentrate. Yeah, so I work in health and well-being, but the reason why I think that I want to talk about today is because it's something that, you know, my attitude to health and well-being has changed a lot in my own lifetime. I think, you know, when I was in my 20s, particularly I remember when I was at uni, you know, you heard of people with depression, and I think I was a bit of a, I don't know, I had a lot of opinions, but they weren't necessarily well informed, and I always just used to think, oh, what a lovely bit of scenery we've got here. And I always used to think, oh, you know, some people are really weak-minded, you know, like, Christ, if something happens, you know, bad, then just get over it, you know, just move on. Oh, I'm in Loughborough. Oh, there's cameras as well. Okay, so oh, pretty. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, so I used to have that kind of like that opinion that it was just one of those things that people kind of played on, you know, that it was all a bit of a nothingy kind of, not like a made-up illness or anything, but it was possibly an excuse, you know, depression, all that stuff, bit of an excuse for, I don't know. But anyway, obviously I've got older and wiser, a lot wiser, I think. The Priory, that looks posh. So I've got older and wiser, and then about 3 or 4 years ago, kind of fell into a depression of my own, which kind of brought a whole new kind of a whole new meaning to it, really. And depression is one of those things that it's hard to kind of understand unless you've been there, but it changes your whole way of thinking. You think totally differently about life, the world, death, you know, and you end up doing crazy things. You know, you start making really rash decisions. You start taking risks. Now, you know, I really want to kind of tell you about how great biking is, you know, for mental health. But there comes a line where if you are really depressed, you should not be on a bike, because I was finding that I was travelling to work each morning, going along a very familiar bit of road, you know, and I felt I was pushing the limits constantly, to the point where I was going round corners way too quick, and I kind of knew it. I knew that if there was a car coming the other way at that moment in time, there was no way I was going to make it around that corner, and yet I was still doing it. So yeah, it changes your whole kind of way of thinking. Now, depression can be kind of you know, it's actually really common. So, you know, 1 in 5 people in this country suffer with or have suffered from depression. So don't, you know, think it won't happen to you just because you're, you know, 25 and, you know, everything's going, you know, you're jolly with your life, because it could, you know, it might. Okay, so I know I'm going to end up stuck in the city centre and not know where I'm going. So how do you get depression? Well, it's kind of lots of different reasons, really. There are lots of ways that you can get depression, or depression can form. It could be, you know, something that triggers it in your life, you know, a difficult time, stress. You could just have the kind of personality which kind of lends itself to depression. You know, it could be a genetic thing. For me, it was just a feeling of unfulfillment, really. You know, kind of just, I felt that I'd achieved everything that I wanted to achieve in life, and I couldn't think of anything else that I really wanted to do, you know. And it was like, I think it's like, you know, you get these amazing, like, you know, rock bands, and they tour and they gig and they have such amazing success, and then suddenly the band will fall apart, and you think, well, you know, why? You know, you're on, you know, the crest of a wave. But actually, you know, the fun just kind of, the fun comes out of it. I had that, I was gigging in a band, you know, and I'll talk about creativity in a minute. I think I might do a Yui. So, I'm probably in the wrong lane. Yeah, things were going all right. I was in a band. You know, you getting lots of kind of adulation and people saying how great you were, and that's brilliant for a time, but it only seems to happen for a limited amount of time, and then the buzz goes. And for me, the buzz completely went, oh, right, I am in the wrong lane now. Bugger. Who's behind me? Oh. Thank you. Yeah, so, oh, sorry about that. I was having to concentrate there to get out of my own mistake. And what else had I done? Yeah, so I got into writing as well. Creativity, you know, can be a bit of a burden, because when the creativity dries up, that's when kind of like the depression starts, you know. And I went through, you know, real creative period. I was writing books, publishing books, and I wrote loads. I wrote about 13 books in 3 years, which is quite prolific. And then all of a sudden, kind of the ideas dried up. I also got made redundant around the same period, which doesn't help at all, because it's a massive confidence knocker. And low confidence usually is connected to depression and anxiety. So it all kind of went a bit pear-shaped, and to be honest, I'm being completely honest, it's been a bit of a struggle ever since. You know, I understand depression, and I talk about it a lot with my customers, as we call them at work. But actually, you know, it's quite difficult to take advice when you're feeling really crap. And it's quite difficult to take your own advice as well. You know, I've got lots of great advice. This YouTube channel, you know, is channeling some great advice, believe me. But it's quite difficult to take, because it's only you that can really pull yourself out of depression. Although, one thing I do want to make clear is that talking to someone is the absolute key. Sharing that burden, you know, having a support network with good relationships is the key to clawing yourself out of a hole. So, and that's obviously what helped me a lot. But I suppose, you know, once you've been through that kind of, well, I call it pain. Should we call it pain? Mental pain? Once you've actually been through, I'm just checking my speed, doing alright. Once you've kind of been through that mental pain, it does change you a little bit. You know, my general outlook on life is very different to how it used to be. I'm a bit more negative, a bit more pessimistic, and sometimes it's quite difficult being around people when you're negative, because you will instinctively push them away, whereas in fact isolating yourself is the very worst thing you can do when you are suffering with poor mental health, because naturally we become more withdrawn, we isolate ourselves, and that is the very last thing that we need. Particularly, I'm going to talk about guys here. I'm guessing when this channel gets going that it'll be predominantly men who are listening to this. You know, men commit suicide, you know, 3 or 4 times more than women do, and there's a reason for that. It's because men are absolutely useless at talking about their problems, and also men love to try to fix the problems themselves, you know. I mean, just look at a man when he gets a flat pack bit of furniture. I mean, he doesn't bother looking at the instructions. Or, you know, if the toilet starts leaking, you know, no plumbing knowledge whatsoever, but still have a crack at it, if you know what I mean. So particularly men are quite susceptible to depression, and also taking it to the point where, you know, you're talking self-harm and the ultimate self-harm. So what I want to remind everyone really is that, you know, getting a bike, it's one of the ways that you can temporarily stave off these intrusive negative thoughts, because, you know, as I've mentioned before, you're out in the open, you're kind of seeing the world, you're seeing the natural beauty. I mean, look at that. I mean, I don't even know if the camera's really picking it up, but think bike. I am thinking about bikes right now. And of course something else that's bike crash site. Ooh, I can see why. Look at this road. This biker's paradise, isn't it? Oh, I think I should have turned left there. Anyway, I'll come back. So yeah, concentration is another thing. Concentration it's very difficult when you're depressed or when you're anxious. You lose focus. It's a natural side effect of stress and anxiety, is that we lose that kind of focus. But you do need a certain amount of concentration to get on a bike, so it's a great distraction. It's one of the best distraction techniques I can possibly think of. And when we're distracted, when we're, you know, when we're out on our bike, living our best life, you've got no time to think about all the bullshit that's going on in your life. So it's really, really beneficial. And if you're on a bike or you're thinking of getting a bike, and you've, you know, maybe suffer with a bit of poor mental health, then I would definitely consider it. I mean, I'm feeling better already. I woke up in a bit of a shitty mood this morning, but I feel better already. Just getting out and about. Taking in the scenery. So, as I said before, I'm completely new to this area really. Well, fairly new. I just don't get out much. So I don't really know where I am. Don't know where I'm going. Could end up in Birmingham, I think, if I keep going this way. No idea. So that's it for the vlog today. I won't bore you with me having to find my way home. It might take a couple of hours. But I've had some nice comments so far about my vlog, and I really appreciate that. And because I don't really know where I'm going with it. Give it a couple more episodes and I'll probably be trying to put the world to right. You know, I'll be denouncing the government, you know, giving you my opinion on sexual relationships. But hey ho, the scenery's good. So, and it's amazing actually. Do you know what? Just before I go, I watch a vlog, well, fairly religiously, or particular vlogger, a chap called David Johns, and he's got a couple of channels. One's called Cruising the Cut, which is about his life on a narrowboat, and the other one is Vandemonium, which is about his kind of modding of a van to make it into a camper van. Now, I you know, I don't even drive. I don't have a van. I have been on a narrowboat, so I do kind of get it. But it's amazing how you will sit and watch something for like hours. Yeah, last night I was laying in bed watching this chap fix or rewire his van. I mean, I can't think of anything more boring than watching someone rewire a van, but there it was. So kudos to you, David Johns. You're a fantastic vlogger and a bit of an inspiration to me. Oh, there's a motorway. I'm not going on there, bloody hell. So yeah, until the next time then, I'm about to do a swift Yui and go home now. But until then, have a good week. Cheerio.